Hola, hola, bienvenidos a este segundo capítulo de Estas en Familia. Soy Cristina.
Welcome, everybody. This is Israel, and this is our second show, and we family now.
That's right. Estás en familia. No importa si te identificas con ser la primera generación, la 1.5, la 1.75, y si no sabes de qué estamos hablando, chequea el primer capítulo en el cual definimos de una manera bien criolla esta cosa que es pues la definición de first generation. Hoy vamos a hablar un poquito más a fondo de lo que es nuestros nombres. Brevemente nosotros hicimos una recapitulación de cómo nosotros perdimos el nombre acá, y este capítulo le vamos a dedicar a esto, ¿no? A esta doble personalidad, si se quiere, de quiénes somos con el nombre que tenemos, como decimos el nombre. Acuérdense que yo soy Cristina.
And I think we have multiple personalities, if you ask me.
Not multiple personalities like you need to be hospitalized, pero definitivamente
Multiple.
Mr. Dewey over here is definitely might need something else.
Help me.
So, yo voy a empezar diciéndoles una cosa. Yo me considero una persona bien inteligente. Maybe eso es tooting my own horn, pero yo creo que soy una persona bien inteligente. Pero cuando yo llegué a Estados Unidos y nos pusieron en la escuela, me sentía bruta. ¿Y por qué digo esto? Bueno, porque cuando nosotros llegamos aquí en Estados Unidos ha sido una cuestión de que te ponen en el grado basado en cuántos años tienes, y yo tenía 10 años, y basado en la edad que yo tenía que ser en 5º grado. Yo en el Ecuador ya estaba en 6º grado. Y pon aquí, ¿no? She has to go to 5th grade. Y para allá me pusieron. Me pusieron una clasecita ahí, todo chafa de ESL. And for the no era ESL como ahora se conoce ESL o Bilingual Education, o sea, full inglés, ¿no? Y la profesora estaba hablando conmigo, yo no sabía que estaba hablando conmigo, así, por poquito ya me ponían que era una cuestión de Special Education o algo, ¿no? Porque la man ha estado llamando María. Yo digo, ¿quién será esa man que no contesta, man? Ya estaba hablando conmigo, loco.
Yeah, I think back in the day it was like one of those things of who do you identify as type of okay, this is your birth certificate. I'm going to get my kid into school, and this is his first name, and this is what you're going to call him as. But that's where it comes, where your identity kind of like messes up with your head, because like for the longest you've been a certain person to everybody that you were close to, even in school, and then you come to the United States and then you're like pretty much going by your government name,
whatever name they give you. And it's not like they ask ¿cómo quieres que te digan? No, which to me is really big. Like I said in the last episode, I am a teacher, and I teach the 1.5 kids. And to me it's really important cuando llegan al aula, especialmente cuando son nuevos, ¿verdad? Que cuando ellos entran al salón, yo paro todo. A mí me perdonan, pero el currículum puede esperar. En este momento, este niño o esta niña me necesita, y lo primero es, yo veo los papeles que me dicen, quizás como enseña en la computadora, en mi roster, y le digo, ¿cómo te llamas? Entonces, por lo general, estos 1.5 kids me van a decir el nombre con lo que le llamaban antes de llegar acá a Estados Unidos, ¿no? Entonces, yo le digo, ¿cómo te llamas y cómo quieres que te diga? Para mí es súper importante, súper importante decirles cómo quieres que te diga.
Pero as a professional, like, you have to be professional and go by the books. And I think that's something tough for you, because like you're trying to do your job, but just because se llama Juan and he wants to be called Cocomelon, you're not going to go with Cocomelon.
O sea, no, pues una cosa son nombres, otra cosa son apodos. Ponte, durante los años, muchos niños vienen así como, o me llamo Juan José, o me llamo Juan Manuel. Son nombres compuestos. O sea, en toda Latinoamérica vivimos con un montón de Marías. María Cristina, María Cecilia, María Dolores, María... Entonces, y de un día para el otro, perder la mitad de ti. Porque, ponte en el Ecuador o en otros países, dice, oh, esta es la María José. María José es una persona. El hecho de que you just drop part of their name is like, can you just drop a limb? Can you just walk into a room and leave your leg outside? It's part of who you are, right? So to me, it's really important. So, no es así como de, chamadre, llámeme Cocomelo, no. No, pues así no. Pero sí es parte de tu nombre y es parte de tu identidad. Yo por 15 años trabajé con estudiantes de 5º y 6º grado. Y yo sí les digo, o sea, si tú tienes un nombre compuesto y tú quieres que te llame por el otro nombre, that's fine. Y yo siempre les digo, aquí en Estados Unidos te llamas tal. Y pero aquí en la classroom, because this is your home and this is your family, I'll call you the way you want to be called. Incluso cuando estamos hablando con los papás, es bien claro, ¿no? Decir, ponte, estamos hablando de mí, de Cristina. Entonces, que los profesores vayan y hablen con mis papás y digan, oh, es que María, María, it's like, who is this María? Sí, mis papás tienen una Cristina en la casa y la Cristina es la que hace o deshace. Entonces, para mí es súper importante preguntarles cómo se llaman y cómo quieres que les diga. Y yo me mantengo con eso, ¿no? Aparte de cualquier cosa, mantener los nombres, porque yo pasé por lo que pasé, yo me aseguro que mis 1.5 kids keep their name.
So that's good in a sense, to keep your name, keep your identity, because coming into the United States, it's hard to move forward, and you kind of want to clutch what you know. And yeah, like you coming into school, you coming into anywhere, being somebody else, being half of what you think you are, it's difficult. Like I don't know if I'm the best co-host today, because I really can't divulge so much about me to a certain extent. A little about me, I'm in law enforcement, and it's kind of hard for me
secret agent. Dun, dun, dun.
It's a reason why Batman hid his identity, because, you know, it's kind of hard to be public of who you are and you know, do what you do.
Right.
So it's kind of hard, you know, having to be two different people. Actually, be one person when you actually are used to being two.
Absolutely. Last episode, we briefly spoke about how we go by our last names, or, you know, like, aquí en Estados Unidos es bien conocido eso, que no importa cuál sea tu apellido, te dan como la primera letra de tu apellido, ¿no? Y ese es tu nombre. Como en high school yo tenía, mi profesor favorito era Mr. Carreco. No sé, hasta ahora no sé cómo se escribe Carreco. Pero nosotros le decíamos Mr. K o just K. Y él estaba ok con eso. Y esa era la identidad que él tenía, pues, en el trabajo, ¿no? Y yo creo que nuestro apellido, como dice mi hermano, sin divulgar tanto, nos ha mantenido en que somos G's, ¿no? Y, not the OG, así, pero sí somos G's. Y durante los 15 años que tengo trabajando como profesora, simplemente he sido Miss G. Y yo creo que en tu trabajo también, pues te llaman por tu por tu last name, ¿verdad?
Oh, yeah. It's been to the point that I don't know if everybody in our family has the same problem, that they just mispronounce our name. You just kind of get used to it. Going through the academy, I was pretty much everything under the sun. I was galvanized for a while. I'm like, I don't know how Gavilanes could go to being galvanized, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. Or people who don't even bother, and they're like, oh, Gonzalez. And I'm like, listen, just call me G. Just call me Miss G. I have teachers who are close to me who just call me Gavi. And that's pretty much it. That's my name, Gavi. But this is our professional persona, right? This is the who we are as professionals. Like I said, cuando llegamos acá nosotros, yo me convertí en María. Yo me convertí en esta ESL student que necesitaba ayuda porque no entendía pues lo que estaba pasando.
I think it's mostly our professions that we've had to adapt to being Gavilanes or being our last name. I don't know if there's any other professions where they have to deal with this thing of having to be like something completely different. Like for the most part, like I'm at work and everybody knows me as G or Gavi or Gavilanes. Like I said, for the most part, I'm G or Gavi. But if I'm out in the real world and somebody will shout out, hey, G or Gavi or Gavilanes, I start getting paranoid and I'm like, it's a little PTSD type of situation with me.
Because of your line of work.
Because of my line of work.
Now, we've talked about this at home, and I'm like, if anybody says Miss G, I turn to look, and I'm waiting in excitement to see cuál de mis muchachos es. Y yo les digo mis muchachos porque hasta cierto punto, estos muchachos se convierten en mi vida. O sea, una de las cosas que a mí más me apasiona de mi trabajo es que ellos se sientan con esa naturalidad de reconocerme en la calle y llamarme por mi nombre. Y para mí es súper emocionante. O sea, que digan, Miss G. Yo doy la vuelta. ¿Cuál? ¿Cuál es? ¿De qué año es? ¿De qué temporada? O sea, based on when I had them, I know, are they already in high school? Are they already in college? And it makes me really happy. I know in your line of work, anybody in the street calling you G, you're like...
It makes me paranoid. It does. It's like to the point where it's like I avoid certain places just because I don't want to be put in a situation where like I'm out with the kids and then it's like, I don't want to do it.
It's like a threat to them.
Yeah. Like I've actually had a talk with my wife and my kids. But I really doubt that if it comes to that point, they're actually going to understand. They're going to be like, what?
Yeah. Pero de ahí en más, o sea, el cambiar de nombre, el tener esta doble personalidad con tu nombre en sí, ¿no? Que hay personas que te dicen por tu primer nombre versus personas que te dicen por tu nombre que te decimos en la casa, ¿no? Porque en la casa tú eres Israel. Uh-huh. Y eres Israel para los guaguas, para los bebés en la casa, para papá, mamá, para hermanos, tú eres Israel.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because at work, sometimes I'll have to fill out paperwork and like I said, mostly all the other coworkers knows me as G, but like if somebody comes out and be like, hey, they call me by my first name, I'm like, who the hell is that person?
Yeah, y ese disconnect, definitivamente yo sí veo eso, ¿no? O el sentir como que tienes esta doble identidad, como que tienes que ser una persona cuando estás utilizando un nombre versus cuando estás utilizando el otro nombre. O when you say your own name and you're talking to somebody in English, and you say that name with an accent, which we talked a little bit on last episode. ¿Am I María? ¿O soy María? Sí, incluso la voz cambia cuando tú estás hablando en un idioma versus el otro, ¿no?
That's your professional voice. That's your customer service voice right there.
Customer service voice. Oye, yo sí me doy cuenta, pero que nosotros cambiamos cómo hablamos cuando estamos hablando en español, que when we speak in English, you know, sometimes, yo no sé si les pasa a las personas por ahí afuera, pero cuando yo me voy de vacaciones al Ecuador, yo regreso y mi chip está completamente en español. Entonces,
You're kind of like Buzz Lightyear still in Spanish mode.
For real, oye, loca. Y es difícil porque yo vengo y tengo que ahora es like accustomed to going back to English.
Yeah, I've noticed. You have that thick accent. I'm like, who the hell are you?
And it takes time. It takes time for you to go back and I've told my coworkers, be like, have patience with me because I'm trying to maneuver, like going from speaking in English, from speaking in Spanish 100% of the time to now trying to sound intelligent in English. Ahí está como medio cara pescado, pero you know, we make it work.
I think that's something big because, you know, you travel more, I think, versus me. Like, I don't really go nowhere. Like, I try to stay in Jersey. And maybe I should get out more, but I think it happens more to you that you go to, like, a Spanish-speaking country, like the only Spanish-speaking country that you go to.
Yeah, let's get it together. I'm not that world traveler que me voy para cada lado. Me voy al Ecuador porque somos el Ecuador. Y de ahí nos salimos.
Well, yeah, but you do that more often, and I think it happens to you more than me. Like, I think I've been there maybe like once in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think that's why I identify more as American and a tape.
Yeah, but yo identify more, como americana.
Do you find it condescending when somebody that doesn't speak Spanish, like a non-native speaker, pronounces your name like Maria, right? They look at you and they're like, Maria. Like, do you find it condescending? Like, we were talking about it before with Izzy, where somebody would come up to you and say, gracias.
You know where that happened to me the most is when we went to North Carolina. And it's like, I don't know, a stigma, a stereotype that you go into a mall and it's like, oh, llegan estos hispanos and they probably don't know a lick of English. Let's try to...
make them feel welcome.
Yeah, let's try to make them feel welcome. And I'm like, hola, ¿cómo estás? I'm like, I'm fine, bro. I'm from Jersey.
But that's why I'm like,
watch que él no dice, I'm fine, pero dice, I'm from Jersey. O sea, él se identifica de Jersey.
Jersey. Straight out of Newark.
Yeah. Pero a mí, mira, que Ricky Martin ha cantado de María y María se fue y que tal, o sea, no puedo ser más hispana que con este nombre, ¿no? Y no me molesta, no. It's like I've heard it all, so I'm like, I'm so jaded by now. It's just like, me llamo María y, o sea, ya a este punto ya no me molesta nada, ya.
It's like Israel, like if they call you like the Spanish like intonation, like
I don't think nobody's really tried to be like Israel. I'm like, bro, something wrong with you.
I mean,
pero que son gringos y te dicen Israel y suena como Israel versus Israel.
Yeah, most of the English-speaking people that will call me Israel is just Israel.
I think that's like it's an English name too. Something like Jose. Like that's that. I'm thinking of like other names that have like certain letters or certain like dictations that's specific to like the language.
I don't know. I think a lot of the names with R's I think would be a problem for English-speaking people, like Raúl.
Yeah.
Oh, sí.
No, because like Jose, like if you try to say
just standard.
It's like Jose. They put like a tilde at the end of it. Like when they pronounce it, yeah.
Pero José sí tiene tilde, ¿no? José.
No. Well, I don't know. Some people probably do. But that's what I'm saying. It's like you guys never had that. Like,
oye, ¿sabes qué? Yo sí tuve recién que dices tilde. Una profesora que escribió mi apellido con B grande. Y yo No, es con B chica. No, dice, the way you say it, y era una profesora en la universidad de no me acuerdo de qué huevada era, pero era como like, I was learning how to teach the correct intonation since I'm like an ESL type of person. And she's like, if you say your last name Gavilanes, esa B es labial y tiene que ser con B grande. And I'm like, you can't just come over here and switch the way I write my last name because the way I say it. But I guess that I'm supposed to like, not B, you know? So
you felt like Bobby Boucher, like, my mama said it was with a V.
Yeah, pretty much. Y después una que me escribió el apellido con tilde. Y yo, no, mi apellido no lleva tilde. Dice, no, lleva Gavilanes, o sea, con la tilde sobre la A. And I was like, no, that's not true. That's not right. That's not how we write it. That's not how we write it. And I mean, tiene que ser así como yo me mantengo que se escribe como se escribe porque así está en mi birth certificate y así se va a escribir, ¿no? A mí me pudre los que son, ponte, por ejemplo, ¿no? Que son Núñez. And they're like, something, Núñez. And I'm like, you are not a Núñez. You're a Núñez. Say the ñ, damn it.
There's actual people that do that?
Mm-hmm.
There's people who are like negating their Latinidad in order to like, they take the, especially it happens with the ñes. It happens
with politicians.
Muñoz. Muñoz, ¿qué es eso? Quítate.
Are there really people that
hell
do that?
Yeah. I mean, I'll find a politician right now that does that. It's because they want to appeal to a different crowd. Like, they don't want
to the English-speaking people.
Like, but
they
I mean,
want to look to Latinos.
Do you think, like, also, like, in our country, well, your country of origin, the last names mean more than they do here?
Absolutely. Especialmente de donde nosotros venimos.
Well, what do you mean?
De donde nosotros venimos, si tú eres un cierto apellido, vales más. O sea, así como la canción que dice, porque le puso más leche al café y ahora ya no son mosqueras.
Are you talking about like social status?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. O sea, tiene que ver con quién eres.
I think it differs from where you live. Like over here, it don't matter.
Aquí
Name
eres.
is a name.
Exacto. Esa es una de las
Unless
cosas.
you're a Hilton.
Or a Trump.
Or a Trump. By the way, we're not transferred by Hilton or Trump.
No. Definitivamente de donde nosotros venimos de un pueblo pequeño, en donde, como dicen los mayores, ¿no? Pueblo chico, infierno grande. Si todos se conocen a todos, y si es que tú eres de un cierto last name, pues tú tienes un social status diferente, ¿no? Y es, fulano de la...
You bougie now.
Yes, todo depende de tu familia, ¿no? De dónde vienes. No tanto ni siquiera de dónde vives, sino puedes vivir en la ínfima, puedes vivir, de la peor manera, pero si tú tienes un apellido que dicta que tú tenías un tinge de español por ahí en tus bisabuelos, o sea, es más. Pero...
Oh, snap. You start pretending you're español.
Ya, no de una. O sea, sí, es que mi familia, o sea, mis abuelitos, okay.
What's equivalent to the Hispanic Mayflower?
La Pinta, la Niña y la Santa María, güey.
Word, that's probably it. Like, my ancestors came from, and La Pinta. That's where they came from.
That's what happens. Certain people in certain towns, if you have a name that's closest to, like, if it doesn't sound like, let's just say, right, as an example, that's like an indígena last name. If you have any one of those, like, your social status is like, you're like low.
Yeah. I can see.
You gotta be like a Villanueva.
Yeah, if you have something like that, then
you gotta have like a soap opera name type of thing.
With a theta.
Yeah, with a Z.
With a theta.
Yeah, like if you have one of those last names in certain towns,
you gotta sound like you're like what's the name of the cat? Sylvester.
Fuck up the thing.
Exactly. I was gonna say Sylvester Stallone, but that's totally not the guy. He's not the cat. He's not the cat.
No, definitivamente, o sea, el apellido cuenta. Eso es lo que a mí, una de las cosas que a mí más me encantó acá, de que acá todos somos iguales. Acá no
Everybody's
importa.
a nobody.
Yes, acá no importa si eres de la baja, de la alta, aquí todos somos iguales. Todos venimos acá, especialmente si vienes sin saber inglés. That
humbles
right
you.
there,
That humbles you. Yeah.
Everybody's on the same like playing field.
Exacto. Eso no importa de dónde vienes, con qué vienes trayendo. Puede ser muy...
You're an immigrant and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the unifier. Y ya, o sea, y eso es una de las cosas. Yo voy a decir, o sea, sin decir nombres ni apellidos, porque they're gonna ban me, a tirar piedras cuando regrese a Ecuador. Pero acá,
They're gonna immediately unfollow.
acá habían algunas personas,
Gonna start immediately a street beef.
había unas personas de apellido muy de la high muy de la high en nuestro pueblito, pero todos éramos aquí como iguales, ¿no? Es más, los trabajos que tenían no eran fancy jobs, es como, ok, usted se dedica a ser panadero, usted se dedica a hacer construcción, todos éramos iguales. Y de repente voy de vacación, como dice Israel, yo sí he viajado un poquito más que él, puesto bastante importancia en regresar cada vez que puedo. Y voy, y aquí éramos como, oh, you see me in the street, you say hi. Ok, hola, ¿cómo está? Cristina. O como me decía en algún punto, niña Criss. Ok, hola. Pero aquí todos nos conocíamos y we're fine, we're all the same status. Y yo me voy de vacaciones, me voy al Ecuador y estoy caminando en el pueblito y le veo. Yo sé que yo le conozco. Él me ve. Él sabe que yo le conozco. Y que sabe, I know dónde trabaja. Sí, yo no voy a estar divulgando a los cuatro vientos.
That's very trippy.
Y me ve y pasa por delante mío very much doing what his last name would do, which is like looking at me from above, like, I don't know you, like, don't speak to me because how dare you. Oh my God, that sent me in a tizzy fit, you know? It's like, yes, mi familia
You're
venimos
like, oh,
de...
you bougie now.
Ajá. It's like, let me remind you lo que haces.
Remember me? You used to make me bread. Remember me?
Pero allá no, allá son muy de familia de...
$3 for $1, you remember me?
No, pero allá también, like, te conocen, like, anything that your family's done, if, like, your last name is associated with that, they carry the horrible stuff or the bad stuff with the last name. And then all of a sudden you become that. Like, just as an example, in my family, something happened to my grandfather. So when I went to LOC, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm Andrade, right? Oh, eres el sobrino del que... And then I was just like, yeah, but it's like, I don't understand how that is with this.
They're all like, shame be on your family forever.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I don't understand.
It's kind of weird. The Hispanic culture and like, I would say maybe like the Chinese culture is like you have to honor your last name. Mm-hmm. Unless otherwise you get like a sword and you just end it all right there.
Yeah. But see, that also kind of leads into the next segue. Not only do you
Either
guys
that
have,
or like throw yourself off a bridge.
No.
Find the closest bridge. Just end it all right now. You're like dishonor your name.
¿Qué estás? Dishonoring your family, dishonoring your cow.
You dishonored your family, your cow.
Yeah, but like also another thing that's very big over there that I don't understand is nicknames, los apodos. And so,
oh, forget it.
Yeah, some of those apodos transfer over here too, but they don't mean anything here. Like
they don't mean anything to the people who may not know you, but the people in your close knit community. Listen, you. That's it. That's you're married to that.
I think that's definitely something to do with like, okay, you have to grow up there to know what the hell you're talking about. Because like I'm not gonna understand what the fuck is. You come over here like, hey Chuy. You know, like,
oye flaco,
mm-hmm.
Oye flaco, y lo que es bastante común hablar con nuestras physical appearances, ¿no? Como nosotros nos vemos o
but that's I think like the most endearing thing where your nickname becomes the most insecure thing about you. It's like if you're fat and you're insecure, your nickname automatically becomes gordo.
Yeah.
Yeah, narizón, orejón.
Orejitas. Mi primo es orejitas y le pusimos orejitas. Bueno, yo no le puse, pero le sigo diciendo orejitas.
But
And
see-
I don't think he takes offense to that anymore. Like he knows that he's orejitas and that's fine.
Yeah, but you say it endearingly. But that's why, like, I think our families are our first bullies.
Absolutely.
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 And it prepares
I
us
bully
for
my daughter
school.
all the time.
Yes. Listen, if we do it with love. You know, que no vengan aquí los retractors a decir que no lo hacen. Come
Yo,
on.
My daughter, she just got into band, right? So she got a clarinet that she takes everywhere. Even a las novenas, she bring it out, build it. Boop, 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 boop. I'm like, all right, Squidward, get going. Get going, Squidward.
But do you think that type of bullying prepares us for the real world?
Absolutely. Es esta gente que está así, ay, me dijo tal cosa, ay, me quedó bien. It's like, get over it. It's like, snowflake. Date de para allá. You know, it's like, yo creo que de la manera que nosotros nos hemos criado, somos más resilient. Y estamos hablando de first generation
For
y el
different cultures,
1.5.
for different cultures, I think it's worse. Like when I went to high school, like they would hike on each other, and I was like, how do you not go and like kill yourself at the school? Like it was bad. Like, but like you would stick to your own culture and be like, just brush it off, type of deal. But like certain like black friends that I had, they would hike on each other, and I'm like, yo, how do you like not go kill yourself after that, bro? But I guess like they're also used to it, like growing up with their own families. Like families are the first bullies that you have.
We're good. Yeah, como nosotros les decimos a los flacos tiriciados, it's a very Ecuadorian thing. Si estás escuchando y no eres de Ecuador, apréndete, ¿ya? Si alguien es flaco, le dices tiriciado, de una. O sea, y to make it cute, le decimos, este es tiri.
Quilluyenta.
Quilluyenta, another way. O sea, welcome to Quechua 101. Nosotros no hablamos quechua, pero sí nos sabemos así palabritas que nos ayudan al day-to-day bullying, ¿no? Eres una tiri, eres una quilluyenta.
You already know we learn the bad things first.
Yeah, hell yeah. pero eso es it's with love, you know, like we do it to our nieces, our nephews, our kids. Pero no es, ellos saben que es parte de su identidad. O sea, el hecho de que nosotros decíamos tiriciada y tiriciada significa flaca. If you're flaca, own it. Boom, that's it. You keep it moving. No hay de más. O tomamos lo que nosotros pensamos que puede ser una inseguridad y we fly with that.
Yeah, run with it. Run with it. Cause
I think that's like the cool thing about Hispanics. They take those nicknames in stride. And, you know, it ends up being like an Instagram handle.
Yeah. Oh, sí.
Yeah.
Oh, sí.
La flaca baby 17.
Flacata.
Flacata. Sí, estos nombres son definitivamente vienen de quien nosotros somos. Growing up, a mí, ¿qué te decían a vos? A mí, yo siempre he sido la negra, la merenga, la cuscunga. And I'm fine. I'm like, okay, I'm game, you know. Yo no creo que nunca yo me he resentido por eso. Y muchas personas hasta ahora, mis tíos ya son mayores y ellos me dicen, oh, negrita, ven a visitarme o lo que sea. I'm okay, you know. Y no es como, oh my God, they're picking on me because I'm a darker shade. So what?
Now that you bring it up, I feel a little lost because I'm like, what did I grow up as? I don't even know.
No, Izzy.
Well, for
Ustedes.
you,
Yeah.
for you, but like for family, for anything, it's like, who am I? Like I feel like I was so disconnected from my family that
they never bullied you with a nickname.
No, I never got bullied.
Coño. Te vamos a tener que bautizarte de algo, ¿ya? Espérate, déjame ver.
It can't be like one of those.
Because like, if you really think about it, you don't say much. So there's really nothing to go off of.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's why it's hard.
No, yeah, we do. You do have a.
As long as it's not like George Lopez, they were like, remember when you couldn't make it to the bathroom? Now you caca. Please don't call me that. Don't call me that.
No, porque sí te dicen a ti te dicen oljerito, which is, taking away from one of our uncles who's really, really, really quiet, who rarely says anything. Uh-huh. And then when he does say something, he's something like so outlandish.
It like goes over your head that you just have to like rewind and play it in your head.
Yes.
Like,
so
did he just say that?
Yeah. So a ti te decían oljerito. Y hasta ahora te dicen oljerito. Vos eres oljerito.
That's but that's like people didn't get to know me.
Yeah, that's like a name though. That's why it's hard to pull something from Izzy, because it's like he doesn't really talk. Like you can't make fun of his appearance. You can't make fun of
Stone cold face killer right now.
Sobre
I
todo,
give nothing.
You give nothing. Yeah.
I give nothing.
Ponte a jugar póker, a ver.
I should. I'll probably end up broke.
Ay. So, esta cuestión de la doble identidad está ahí, algunas veces, going back, no, tying it to what you said, like the whole last name situation and things like that. And de donde nosotros somos, mi familia viene de personas bien trabajadoras, súper trabajadoras, que nos enseñaron a trabajar desde pequeños, desde chiquitos. O sea, nosotros teníamos responsabilidades que quizás otros niños de nuestra edad no tendrían. Pero si se sabía que usted es el nieto de la señora del mercado y yo nunca me agarré eso como detrimental, como algo que, oh my God.
Derogative.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, para mí, mejor. O sea, si me dicen, tú eres la nieta de fulana, sí soy. Y, yo no creo que eso fue más verdadero que cuando yo llegué a Estados Unidos, pero, like, I think
one of the things that my parents had taught us, like, if you're going to do something, do it to the best of your abilities. So it's kind of like you take ownership of that. Like, yeah, I'm this person's granddaughter. She's the best person that does this. Like,
yeah,
you'd see it as derogative. I see it as the best thing that could happen.
Yeah, I see it as you sat and ate her meals repeatedly, so obviously it was good.
Thank you for your money.
Yeah. And that's how we got educated, and that's how we grew up, and that's, so, pero a eso que voy, es una de las cosas que incluso cuando yo voy de vuelta y me lo mencionan, o quizás dicen, oh, que usted hace tal cosa, sí, lo hago y punto, and I keep it moving. Pero cuando yo estoy acá en Estados Unidos, cuando yo llegué acá y me convertí en María, yo quería que María fuese así como creating un avatar, ¿no? Ahora que te dejan crear todo en línea. Creando este avatar que iba a ser María, iba a ser una persona súper inteligente. Iba a ser una persona... no que Cristina no era eso, pero it had to be next level. Cristina tenía buenas calificaciones en Ecuador antes de venir, pero María had to take it to the next level. Maria had to make sure que todos los sacrificios que hacían mis papás día con día valgan la pena. Entonces María tenía que ser inteligente, María tenía que ser bien portada, María tenía que no tener nada de complaints en school, María tenía que asegurarse de hacer todas las cosas que tenía que hacer. Este avatar que se convirtió en María.
So I think in a sense you kind of took over the firstborn's role of being the perfect kid.
I guess I had to. I had to, because I had to make sure that I was doing my shit, and also make sure that you were on your best behavior and doing what you needed to do, because we went to school together. Y era como, okay, van caminando, thank God, a ese punto nosotros vivíamos lo suficientemente cerca como para caminar a la escuela. Y caminábamos a la escuela y me aseguraba de que tú vayas a hacer lo que tenías que hacer, y ahí sí, okay, I'm going to go and do what I need to do. Pero asegurar que sea, como tú dices, my parents said you have to be the best at what you do, so it had to be straight A's. No podía allow myself anything less than that, because this Maria needed to make sure that everything was perfect. There could be no space for failure.
do you think, or do you, in your experience as Maria and Cristina, do you think that personalities differ with the name as well? Like right now you're explaining Maria, who is this person who's super responsible.
Yeah.
Does Cristina also, like, does it deviate? Is there like a separate
Yes.
personality for that?
Yes, and I've learned it over the summer.
Mhm.
I've learned it over the summer, where Maria had to be perfect, and I think Maria gave Cristina anxiety. And
Anxiety is real, people.
yes. Si estás ahí afuera y me estás escuchando y sientes como a ti te da algo así como que no sabes qué, te sudan las manos, te da hambre, pero recién comiste, te sientes como que no estás en paz contigo mismo, se te mueve la pierna solita, tienes sed, pero no tienes sed, sientes algo, pero no sabes qué diablos es.
It's
Call
anxiety.
anxiety, baby. Se llama ansiedad, es real, es y existe.
I think a lot of people experience anxiety, but they're like, it's just stress.
Yes.
It's stress.
Stress can lead to anxiety a lot faster, pero anxiety sirve, no sirve, como es anxiety sí es real y nos pasa. Y yo creo que si yo me pongo a hacer una entrevista de todos los 1.5s and 1s, todos vamos a tener una puta ansiedad que no van a poder negar, o sea, whether it's because you're learning English, whether it's because you just lost your name, whether it's because you left your whole family behind, whether it's because whatever the fuck it is, we have some sort of anxiety. We do, and we just need to own it. We need to know that it's there, and we need to know to learn to control it. So going back to your question, Lou, María es una persona muy acertada. As a matter of fact, when and you had asked before, ¿en qué lenguaje tú piensas, right? So si yo estoy pensando and I'm trying to assert myself in any situation, I'll talk to myself as G. Come on, G, you could do it. Si yo estoy teniendo un momento en el cual yo digo, mierda, me está yendo de la máchica, like if I'm in my feelings, that's Cristina being in her feelings. María no tiene tiempo para feelings. María tiene tiempo, let's get this shit done. There's deadlines to be met. There's shit that needs to be accomplished. Either María or G have to be in front of this fucking project because otherwise, quién sabe.
It's more like the emotional one, the more...
Yeah. Cristina is the one in charge of the novena. Cristina is the
Charge
one...
of the breakdowns.
Hell yeah.
But that's...
Hell yeah.
So, do you ever find yourself... So, that term is called code switching. So, it's like, it's like you're one person in this setting, one person in this setting. Do you ever feel yourself, like...
¿En el mismo día?
No, in the same place. Like, switching between, like... I don't want to say personalities, but just switching,
What you talking about?
Like, I'm actually curious because like this is talking from like I'm asking you like as a female, but Izzy, do you go through stuff like this? Like, do you have like somebody? Well, obviously, G in your professional setting. Do you ever take a moment to kind of break away from that professional mindset and like throw in a little bit? Because in the type of work that you do, you have to be professional 100% of the time.
Yes.
Do you ever like throw like pepper in like little bits of your own personality outside of the job?
Outside of the job?
Yeah, into that, or like within your coworkers, because I know you can't. Like, do people know you for you at your job?
At work?
No. I think everybody at my job has to put like a face, like I don't know how to explain it. Like, you have to be a clown, a professional clown, like 24/7, and it's very few people that you let into your inner circle, and it's hard because like at the end of the day, you're like, I don't have friends, I have coworkers. I don't have that closeness with anybody at work because pretty much everybody knows me as G. They don't know me as Israel.
I mean, but do you ever like feel like there's moments where you can expose a little bit of that part of you? Or you just choose not to?
I think I choose not to because like in my profession, it's like you have to be in a professional setting. You have to have this machismo about you, I would say. Mm-hmm. You have to show that there is no weakness, that there is that there's nothing that could affect you.
I think esto se puede hacer como al revés, ¿no? Como tú enseñas quién es Israel en el trabajo, no. Pero yo creo que mucho, y lo vemos nosotros en la casa, es que G comes home. You don't leave G where G belongs. Tú traes a G a la casa y de repente estamos así como, estamos todos así en la jerga, jugando, haciendo whatever. Y de repente tú es como, ¡Jua! And we see G. And I've said it to my sister as well because her work setting is nearly the same. And I'm just like, yo, you need to leave that shit at work. Like, es como en la casa tienes que ser vos. En la casa tienes que considerar que estás con personas que no necesitan ese machismo y no necesitan esa vaina que tú tienes que hacer en el trabajo porque es parte de tu trabajo, pero en la casa no se necesita. ¿Ves? Entonces sí es como...
Yeah, but I think it's hard for you to go back and forth with the whole different personalities. And to a sense, it's like doing what I do, you tend to lose the person who you are.
Why is that though?
Because like I've mentioned, you have to be this person.
Yeah, but it's a job. It's not your life.
It's hard to step away from what you do and who you are.
No, because think of this is the one problem that I had, and one of the reasons why I wanted to start my own business. So much of your life is spent being a different version of you for somebody else.
Yes.
I agree. And this is why I'm having a conflict within myself that is like, yeah, I had this dream job for a while. Yeah, I have it now. Yeah, it's paying a good amount of money, but am I really happy, Mm-hmm. Like right now, it's kind of like I'm taking a step back and I'm looking at who I am, and it's like I'm kind of like rediscovering who I am, and it's kind of hard. I kind of talked to a therapist, and she's like, "You're in your head too much. You're in your head too much. Just live in the now." And she told me like, come Christmas break, enjoy it. You only get one Christmas of 2022. You're never gonna get that back. And that just like blew my mind. It was like, why do I need to be all in my head about this job and be upset and then have this stress on top of me? I said, screw this, I'm just gonna do me. G is not gonna be in the house today. It's just gonna be Israel.
That's it. Yeah. Y es como dices, el estar 100% siendo esta persona que tú eres, como... Y yo no me veo siendo otra cosa que no sea profesora. A mí me encanta, mis papás fueron profesores, mis tíos han sido profesores. A mí me encanta ser una educadora. Quizás si yo no estuviera en el classroom setting, yo fuera alguna cosa más que me permitiera seguir haciendo lo que yo amo hacer, ¿no? Que es compartir con los muchachos y de ahí para adelante. Yo, y lo he dicho, hay bastantes cosas en mi trabajo que no me gustan. Han habido cosas que me han empujado a hacer de cierta manera, donde Miss G quizás no es as loving as I could and should be because of the bureaucracy that comes along with my job, y me ha lastimado, me ha dado duro.
I agree. Some jobs kind of like make you feel like you have your hands tied behind your back.
It's almost like if you're a slave to that position.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but the one thing that I love that you said when we first started talking about the concept of this is you told me Cristina is la que soy. Maria is who I became.
yes.
Right? So in Izzy's example, it's like, to me, he's Izzy. Like
I become a different person,
Yeah,
and
like-
I personally don't like the person that I am now.
Yeah, exactly. But see, like that's another thing too. It's like you become it for the job. So you're playing a character of yourself. This is like this polished version of you that you have to give into this place.
Yeah.
You lose yourself. So that's why to me it's because you have to do this for this job. Why is it so hard to leave it when you have to be a parent and you have to be a husband.
It's called financial responsibility, boo-boo.
No, I get it. Know what I'm saying? But it's like if you have a shitty day at work, because it's happened to me, it's like you bring it home. It's like I've never understood why it becomes this thing that's so hard to detach yourself from as soon as you punch out.
Pasas 8 horas con estas gentes, oye, a veces más de 8 horas. Es como ¿qué switch tiene? Que alguien que tenga el switch me avise, loco, porque yo sí quisiera.
Works. I haven't found it.
Yo sí quisiera.
See, and the thing, like going back to what he mentioned about like nicknames, is like you have a ton of names that identify a different part of you to anybody, right? Izzy is just Izzy and G. So he doesn't necessarily have as many options as you do to, like, you know, be this different thing. So maybe that.
No. Vamos a conseguirte un nickname. Vamos a conseguirte un hobby, loco. Y vas a patearte por ahí.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of things that
I think I'm going to baptize myself as Chuy now. Well, the next show brought to you by Cristina and Chuy.
No.
That's going to be my podcast scenario now.
That's the character you play.
Welcome to the show. It's Live with Chuy. We're doing it live.
You got to do the little roar, too, at the end, like...
Pero a la final viene siendo un rol igual que vas a tomar, vas a estar haciendo acá, ¿no? El asunto este. Pero yo sí pienso, y es my own personal belief, todavía no está confirmado. O sea, muchas de las veces que yo venga acá a la mesa, yo voy a venir researching stuff o leyendo o haciendo cualquier cosa, porque yo no quiero que ustedes piensen allá afuera que yo vengo a hablar de mis personal experiences, de lo que me sale de la panza just because, ¿no? Todo lo que nosotros estamos haciendo aquí sí es basado en personal experience, pero son cuestiones que han sido reportadas, que han sido escritas, que sociólogos han discutido, ese tipo de cosas, ¿no? Pero lo que voy a decir es, o sea, disclaimer, es mi own personal belief, ¿no? Así como tú te casas y ya dices así, pum, ya me casé, ya, o sea, ya soy el marido de fulana o soy la esposa de fulano, ya. Y dejas al chance lo que tú eres o quién eres. I think that shit is wrong. Porque tú no dejas de ser una persona y no dejas de ser un individuo que cambia. O sea, yo he estado con mi esposo ya van a ser 20 años más también, pero la Cristina que él conoció, y se lo he dicho yo repetitivamente, yo no soy esa Cristina. Yo no soy la Cristina que conociste tú de vacaciones. Yo no soy la Cristina que, you know, I'm not her. I'm just not her. He crecido, soy más madura, quizás hay algunas cosas que me siguen gustando, hay cosas que ya no las soporto. Y tú tienes que conocerme como yo soy ahora, right? Pero para que esa persona que está unida a mí en matrimonio me conozca, tengo que conocerme yo mismo, ¿no? Tengo que decir, bueno, ¿quién soy? Así como los doctores dicen, cada 7 años te puede dar una alergia diferente. Hace 7 años yo podía comer el aguacate y ahora ya no puedo. O sea, chance, tú también cambias como persona. Tú también eres como, you know, when I was in high school, I used to listen to rock music. You know, y hay veces que yo me pongo a escuchar ese mismo rock, and I'm like, mierda, ¿cómo huevos? Yo escuchaba esto, no me gusta. Y hay canciones que todavía tienen resonancia conmigo, y yo les puedo seguir escuchando y whatever. Pero hay ciertas cosas que ya no encajan con la personalidad que tú tienes ahora. Entonces, yo sí, me tomé el verano y el tiempo que yo estuve en el Ecuador para volverme a conocer. Oye, loco, yo me quedé tripped out. Yo dije, ¿quién es esta persona? ¿Quién es esta Cristina? Y ahí fue cuando yo dije, forget it. De ahora en adelante, who's ordering the food? Cristina. Whether it's una orden para Cristina or, yes, that would be for Cristina, it doesn't matter. Es Cristina y punto. La María esta que quiere hacer las cosas a la perfección has to take a back seat. O sea, la María está ahí. O sea, la María tiene que salir de vez en cuando hay algunas cosas importantes que hay que hacer, and it's just like, espérame un ratito, me está cobrando de más, dices María. Ya, bueno, la María va y la María pelea, pero yo sí pienso que en este punto de mi vida voy a cumplir 40 años Y la Cristina que vino del Ecuador y que se perdió en todo el hustle and bustle y el shuffle de aprender inglés, tiene que regresar. No como una scared little Cristina, quilluyenta, flaca, que le llevaba el viento, pero sí tiene que volver con los feelings suficientes como para hacer el diferente, the next chapter of my life. It needs to be written by Cristina, because Maria has already done the work. Maria has gotten to college, Maria got married, Maria... Ya, pero ahorita yo creo que los siguientes chapters de mi vida tienen que ser escritos por Cristina. Y para eso yo sí, tuve que pasar un momento en el cual yo dije, bueno, ¿quién mierda soy? ¿Qué estoy haciendo? ¿No? Y yo creo que una vez que yo me conozco, entonces puedo decir, hi, nice to meet you, my name is Cristina. Porque cuando yo sé quién soy, entonces yo puedo, show that to the people. Pero si yo mismo no sé quién soy, ¿qué huevadas estoy haciendo? Entonces no puedo hacer nada.
Yeah, I think you get to be a certain age and you need to start changing, because being the same you, it's like, where has it gotten you? You know, call it a midlife crisis, call it whatever you want. It's like you develop and you start liking different things. Like I said, I'm more American than anything, but it's just like I started to develop different likes. Like, I'm not the same person that I was when I was 18. That'd be like, oh, ¿qué diablo estás escuchando, man? Like, now I actually like listen to like more Hispanic music. I don't know, maybe it's because my wife, maybe because I have different interests. But now it's like, oh, okay, it doesn't bother me as much listening to Hispanic music. Like, I actually tend to enjoy it. Like, some of them is okay. Like, las bandas mexicanas de Sinaloa, yo que sé cómo se llaman. I don't even know what they're called, but I'm like, yeah, I could actually see myself actually, liking this type of music. I don't even know what they're called. You're going to be coming
to Snoop Dogg?
Nah, Snoop Dogg is taking a back seat now. But yeah, you get to change. You need to evolve, and then you're like, by the time you notice, you're like a different person. And you're like, oh, okay, me being Latino, you progress into something where you like go back and forth. Like, am I American now? Am I moving back to being Hispanic, a little bit more Hispanic? And it's like you take into account all the different things that you're moving forward to, and you're like, yeah, I'm a different person now.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes certain families have a hard time accepting your growth.
I agree.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden, like, some families see it as almost like pretentious. And they criticize you for it, and, they're like, oh, te crees mejor, because,
Bueno, hay algunas personitas que sí se creen mejorcito. O sea. Así que ya no quieren ni siquiera hablar con eso. O sea, hay growth for the better, y hay gente que es hecha la creída, o como decíamos en mis tiempos, está hecha la crazy. Sí, hay gente también que falls into the different categories.
It's your own family that be criticizing you, man. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, you bougie now because now you want to change. Like, I want to change for the good. Like, in my sense, like, I've come to, I don't know, midlife crisis, if you want to say it, where it's like, okay, I've been this certain way for X amount of years. Like, I don't want to be ojerito no more. Like, I want to be something else.
Yes.
I love something
that.
Else.
Don't leave her hanging.
I love that.
I want to be something else. Like, I want to have a voice. I want to try new things. Like, it's come to a point where it's like I said, I want to try new things. And it's like, I've told my sister, and then she's like, oh, so now you're turning hippie. I'm like, what does that mean?
You ain't tell me. I'm all for push yourself out of the comfort zone. So, like, vas a los restaurantes, pides la misma huevada.
Exactly. So what I started to do is like, my wife criticized me. She's like, you never know what you're gonna eat. I'm like, what does it cost you to ask the waitress what the hell is good in this restaurant and asking for that? Like, oh, you don't know what you want to eat. I'm like, no, I want the waitress' personal opinion of what is the best thing that they make here, and I will take that. And she's like, well, maybe they're trying to push a product. And I'm like, it is what it is. Why are you going to stick eating the same thing over and over and over?
So I think you get tired of just the same thing.
Pero, o sea,
you're giving yourself room to explore.
Yeah. Pero cachemos, si siempre vamos a restaurantes ecuatorianos, ponte, ¿no? There's only so much to choose from. No importa que te diga la mesera que es, oye, aquí es buena la guatita. Luego te vas mañana a otro restaurante ecuatoriano, vea, aquí es buena la guatita. You're just trying guatitas from different places now.
Yeah, no.
O sea, you know, el asunto
that
es...
doesn't work in every place.
El asunto es, yeah, true that. There's some guatitas, and there's some guatitas. If you don't know what guatita is, go try it. Find yourself a really good Ecuadorian
I tried
restaurant.
doing that like in a different type of restaurant where it's like there's different type of food that I've never tried before.
Yeah. Y eso es más, o sea, tienes que tratar, okay, hoy día nos vamos a un Indian restaurant. Hoy día nos vamos a un, I don't know, un Japanese restaurant. Y ahí sí hacer eso. O sea, ponte ayer, nos vamos a un restaurante ecuatoriano de mariscos. Y mi esposa dice, oh, ¿qué quiere el típico churrasco? Entonces, el loco digo, eso es arroz con huevo. Are you kidding me? You're in a marisco place.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go to a place where I know that I can make the food and be like,
Y pagar lo
why
que...
am I gonna pay for it when I can make it at home? I don't know.
La madre,
That
eso
makes
ya
no
es otro
sense to me.
episodio. Tenemos que hacer un episodio solo de comida, loco, porque that's a lot. Tienes que abrir una caja de Pandoras ahí. Pero bueno, o sea, independientemente de que seas Israel, seas Easy, seas Gavilanes o G, estás aprendiendo quién eres, ¿no? Estás tratando de sacar tu verdadera esencia.
Do you feel some type of way doing that now as opposed to like 10 years ago?
What do you mean?
Like just trying
Find
new
out
things,
who
finding out who you are, like just exploring that.
I think 10 years ago you had to be forced. You were forced to be something to survive. Now it's like you're doing better. So now it's kind of like midlife crisis, like let's do something that makes me happy.
Exacto. I couldn't put it better myself. You know, it's like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, well, not 10 years ago, 12 years ago, we were getting married. So, estábamos empezando, estábamos así de que...
It's all about survival.
Yeah. Estamos en un lugar de que, can we pay for rent? Can we do this? Can we afford this? Can we afford to go here? Can we afford to go... Ahora ya estamos así como más, okay, vámonos a este lugar porque lo vi en TikTok, o sea, es otro show, ¿no? O sea, todo de que lo vi en TikTok.
TikTok never steer me wrong. That's all I'm saying. I get my chef on all the time.
Pero sí, o sea... tenemos que tratar cosas nuevas. Remember that. O sea, así como las alergias pasan cada 7 años, tú también. You have to revamp yourself. You can't be the same old you. Puedes tener parte de ti, parte de tu esencia está ahí y nunca cambia, ¿no? Pero sí tienes que seguir creciendo un poquito más, porque si no creces, eres agua estancada y el agua estancada apesta, loco. No apestes, crece.
That's a good metaphor.
You have to keep growing. Y nada, o sea, ese es el tiempo que tenemos por hoy. Acuérdense que somos primera generación, pasamos por mierdas, pero estamos aprendiendo. ¿Quién eres? No sabes. O sea, aprende, ¿no? Learn to be you. Be happy. Whatever you do, you should be in a position now, hopefully, where, like Israel and I, you should be in a position where, hopefully, you can take these steps to learn about yourself y moverte para adelante. Recuerda que estés donde estés, aquí siempre estás en familia. No olvides de, ¿cómo es que dicen? Like,
follow, subscribe.
Share, porque queremos que más gente escuche esta vaina. Estás en familia en YouTube, estás en familia en Instagram, estás en familia en TikTok, estás en familia en Facebook y estás en familia aquí con Israel y Cristina.
And if you're just watching us, we family now.
We family. Hasta la próxima, chicos.